I also want to put information out there so that God forbid, even with elderlies too, you will know that, okay, these are the things, because sometimes ignorance is not an excuse. And okay, yeah, you see some people, we are in diaspora, but Nigeria, but there's nothing wrong if you are exposed or if you learn from it. Just in case, in a different format, you will be able to be, okay. Now, what am I trying to say is that, one, I don't know how it works in Nigeria, but when you call an ambulance, they give you a paperwork. And when you hold on, Mama, let me quickly say this.
You interrupted me and you took on.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
So, I wanted to just say, when the part you mentioned that it was advised to go home and all of that. Mm-hmm. Now, we can be sentimental about that singular part, because reason being, when situations such as that occurs, one thing you have to also understand is that oftentimes, especially in Yoruba culture, it might just be a situation where they didn't want him to know immediately that his son had passed. But of course, given the situation as it is now, we can elaborate on it and say different versions and different stories that could obviously entwine in relation to Mohbad's death. However, that may have just been born out of not wanting him to know and having like Boya and Wagbalagba to go and talk to him, to announce the death or the passing of his son. This is just my own opinion. I'm not saying that was exactly what happened, but based on culture, if you want to go based on culture, I would assume that is the case. But then again, I may be wrong. I just wanted to insert that just so we have a bit of clarity with regards to...
Please, before Supreme goes on, can I please read this? So I'm reading you something from the CTC, and it's on page 39 of the CTC. And the question was, who certified him dead? And Baba Mohbad's response, I'm Batija, can you...
No, I think that must be me. Hold on, let me turn this thing off.
Yeah, you're fine, sorry. Okay, so they said, who certified him dead? And Baba Mohbad's response was, I don't know who said it, but they were deceiving me on the phone that he was all right and I should go back home.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, hold on, Batija now. It's a full statement. Firstly, they said I should come to one hospital at Osaka, London. And when I got to the bus stop, I said I was at Osaka, London now. But they told me that I should go back home and that it was all right. But what I heard before didn't make me believe, and I wanted to see him. So I got there at 9:30 and I met his dead body on the floor. So that is completely different, Supreme, to you saying...
No, that is exactly what I said.
No, that's not what
Word for word. I said nobody told. So they told him to go home, that the boy was fine. Listen. And that they've taken the boy home. So, but he insisted on going home. Maybe I didn't use the same words. And when he got home, so at what point did he tell them about Bokulole? He didn't even know. So that's exactly what I said that you just read. I don't have the citizen handy, but that is exactly what I said.
No, hold on.
So, but let me also say something psychologically.
Let's clarify this part so that we can all...
It's not. I befriend now. Come on now.
No.
Smarter than that now.
I know myself and you know that
submission. Allow others.
Let us clarify.
One day.
I want to move on to something else, but let's clarify this part before you go. Now, my understanding from what you said earlier was that he was with Mama Mohbad, because there are two different instances of Baba Mohbad getting a phone call about Mohbad being dead. Now, the first instance was Baba Mohbad being with Iya Mohbad. They were about to cross the river, and then they got a phone call. And in that phone call, they said, Iya Mohbad said he got a call, and he said, something has happened to this boy. Where Baba Mohbad said, that's number one. That's one. And at that point, they were about to cross the river. They were heading towards Mohbad's place. Number one. The second one is here, where he said, they told me that he was at an hospital at Osaka, London.
Abefe, you are the one with the CTC. You are the one that read the CTC, and you are the one that is arguing with the CTC. I'm going by the CTC.
I'm not arguing with the CTC.
What Baba said is, what I'm trying to clarify is, Baba did not tell them Kongbo Kulole. Baba was not informed. Baba got home to meet the dead body. Period. period. That's all I'm saying. And that's what you read from the CTC. I don't have a copy.
We are correcting you and saying that do not say that Baba at no point made an attempt to go to the hospital.
I didn't say Oshakpa London is where the hospital is located. Baba, they saw Baba that Aramoyo Yakoma Bolo Hospital. That's what he was told. And when he got there at Oshakpa London, we are here at Oshakpa Ewamuwa, where is the hospital? They told him, they did not realize Baba was with them. Baba was with Yamubad and Yatsunde or whoever. Okay? When they realized Baba was with them, they told Baba, please, Ara Mubad is here, Ekpadasile. Baba now said, I'm already at Osaka, London. It's easier for me to just come home to his place of abode than me going back home at that hour of the night. I might as well just journey on. And that was all that happened. And when he got home, he met his body under the staircase. That's what you read. I might have put it in a different words, but that's just what you heard. So at what point, and you can go to Wumi's CTC and see if Wumi will tell us, if you have the CTC, that we told Baba is the one that said we should take the dead body home. That's all what we want to establish. Baba was never informed. I'm not saying Baba is perfect. He did some things wrong, probably based on his level of education, exposure, whatever the case may be. But that was not part of it.
Okay, hold on, Supreme.
Yes, Mama.
I like to go with facts. I like to I
you are the one reading it now.
I don't go by speculations. I go with facts. Now, I got a call. So there's a question. How did you know about the demise of his son? He said on the 12th of September. Then they asked the question again. They said, how did you know? He said, I got to know around 9:30 p.m.
That was when he got to the house. Hold on, before you move on. Hold on now. Hold on now. Because if you are reading it, I just want to say that 9:30 p.m. was when he got home.
When you talk, I mute.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not talking from my head. I am reading from the CTC. So let's listen to the CTC. Don't ever block the narrative of the CTC that suits you. Let's read from the CTC now. Now, the CTC, they said, how did you know? Okay, leave and let go upstairs. Now, let me go to page 39 of the CTC. Do you know the day that the deceased died? And Baba Mohbad answered, yes, 12th of September. Now, the next question was, how did you know? How did you know? And Baba responded, I got to know around 9:30 p.m. The next question, on the 12th of September, Baba Mohbad said, yes. Now, he said this. They were calling me that it was okay and I should go back home. And I noticed that the tone of the conversation, so I wanted to know what was happening by 9:30. What was happening, and by 9:30, I met his body on the floor. Okay? Then the next question was, the very first call you got with respect to the deceased, what information were you given? And Baba answered, the call was from his mom, and she said Mohbad was in the hospital, and they said we should come. But the way she sounded, I sensed something was wrong, and she called me around 4:30 to 5 in the evening. The next question, the mother does not live with you? He said no. Was the mother living with the deceased? He said no. So now I want to clarify something here. Now, between 4:30 and 5, there was a phone call. Okay? At 9:30, Baba got to the house. So it means that 2 conversations was had. Now let's get to the part where they confirmed what they were told. Now, a question then said, was the mother living with the deceased? The answer, no. Did you go to the hospital? He shook his head side to side. Tell us what happened. On the very day when I was with his body, and when on the very day when I saw that his body was on the ground, I asked what happened to him. Was he sick? Then they stopped him and they said, you got there and you saw the body already dead? He said, yes. They said they gave him injection. An injection reacted on his body, and that was the comment given to me by his wife. Okay? Then they went on, you saw the body, yes, got a wool in the ears, who certified him dead? This was when Baba Nahin said, I don't know who said it, but they were deceiving me on the phone that it was all right and I should go back home. Firstly, they said I should come to one hospital at Osaka, London. Let's establish one thing. At the time that they took Mohbad to the hospital, they contacted his father and said, oh, Mohbad is not feeling well, he's been taken to the hospital. Can you come? Straight forward. Okay? And now when I got to the bus stop, I said I was at Osaka, London now, but they told me that I should go back home and that it was all right. But what I heard before didn't make me believe, and I wanted to see him. When I got to the house at 9:30 p.m., I met his dead body on the floor. Have you seen the death certificate? Baba's answer, no. So do you know the cause of death? Baba nods his head up and down. Who were the people you met? And he continued that narration. Now, from Baba's interview that we have all seen, okay? If you haven't seen the interview, then it means you're on Justice for Mohbad and you're jumping based on what you hear people on TikTok say. You're not doing your due diligence. Now, in Baba's interview, the first interview he said was, when we were going there, I need be a koju omi, tafe soda, ni wakwe ya Mohbad. Lowani, ni ya Mohbad wagba mi lasho mukwe, nkoti shomo ohun. And immediately Baba said, he then responded to her and said, Iku owo lomo iku. Comment section, if you have not seen that recording, please raise your hand up so that we can go and look for it and we can play it here now. Because I feel like the majority of you who are here probably have not seen or heard that recording. Okay. If Joshua Lebami, one recording here, sorry, YouTube. Recording the bit about Mohbad to so I want to be a Kojomi, and you know they were crossing when Mama Mohbad received the call.
You're changing the topic. I don't know what you're trying to establish.
Exactly.
Here.
I don't know what you're trying. You know,
and you're moving from Baba all the way. Can we
what are you trying to? What we are trying to establish is that Baba saw the body when he got home. We are trying to establish the fact that one simple thing, because you have actually put too much time into it. Nikbe, Baba was not the one that told them to take the body home. Period. He only saw the body and got to know that his son was dead when he got home. That is very simple. You read it. Very simple. That is the only thing we want to establish here.
Abefe, you said the kids were young.
Baba did not instruct them. And one thing you should understand is we all should understand the fact that
we're trying to establish two things from this conversation. In case you don't remember, I can take you back. Two things. Number one, we're trying to establish that first of all, Baba Mohbad received 2 phone calls, and Baba Mohbad did attempt to go to the hospital to meet with them at the hospital. You said
he did not attempt. Baba Mohbad was in the arena. I know that area very well. Baba Mohbad was in the arena saying, and they told him, yes, at the hospital. Oshapa is where the hospital is. It's not 2 different locations. On Shakman Perez Hospital, on the streets by Lowa.
You, Supreme, that are you aware that Baba actually made an attempt to go to the hospital, got to the junction, and had to go back?
I wasn't arguing that with you. I told you that part already. I wasn't arguing that with you. Baba attempted, he actually was in the arena of the hospital, and he said, okay, hospital one day the respond to treatment. I want to be
Abefe, I actually think the whole point of this discussion is about why he was very earlier. So it's not about whether or not he heard and when he heard. So the point of contention is why he was very quickly. That was what we're actually talking about.
You're talking over me. How do you expect me to hear what you said? Like, you're literally talking over me.
Okay.
I was talking to Supreme and you're like talking over me. So if you want to address me, you have to wait for me to finish so that I can hear you. So you can go ahead now.
Okay. So what I meant was you saying that the point, why was he buried, like pushing the blame on him for burying him earlier than expected. Like the question that TikTok...
Can I answer that part?
The question she was asking...
I said that... Okay, the only reason I said that was because I am of the opinion that if Mohbad was not buried, had not been buried the way he was, maybe we would have gotten more answers from the toxicology and the autopsy. The only reason the reports are inconclusive is because he had already been buried for a number of days.
And that's exactly my point.
And that is...
You actually think it was his fault to be buried at the point where he was buried? Because
I don't say that again.
Do you think it was his fault that he was buried at the point when he was buried?
No. Yes, I do think it's the father's fault.
And this is where
let me at the fact you made a
hospital would have released Mohbad's body without any form. Do you think the hospital would have released Mohbad's body
body without any report.
Yes, I do think Nigerian hospital will release the body to you, especially two things. If the body is not their client, and secondly, if the body was brought in dead, they will release the body to you 100%.
Okay, hold on. Moro, let me quickly put in a question there. First of all, you have made some, Abefe made some statement of fact, and you've said something probably that is wrong. Outrightly wrong. The statement of fact you made, I'm going to stress it. Yes, 100% you are correct. If Mohbad wasn't buried, definitely the autopsy and toxicology would have been accurate. And having buried him for 9 days probably affected, not probably, most definitely affected the result. Correct. That's a statement of fact. It's not an opinion statement. It's a statement of fact, scientifically. Now, you are very wrong that Baba is to blame, because we cannot bypass a blame and take it to the last person that faulted. Because another wrong thing is brought in dead, brought in alive, you will definitely get a statement where they will say patient or this person, patient's name, brought in dead. Vital signs checked, 0. Corona, 0. Carotid, 0. This. They will put the findings. It's a 3 leaflets. They will put the white copy in the patient's record, because this patient must have a record because of litigation purposes. They will give the pink one to the family members, and the third one will go to medical records.
Are you talking about a death certificate right now?
No, I'm not talking a death certificate. I'm talking about discharge notes. Just doctor's report.
There cannot be a discharge note, Supreme.
Listen, doctors, listen now. Forget the word discharge. Don't let us argue. Doctor's reports. You will get a doctor's report, and family advised to deposit body in the morgue, because they work with license and it will be unethical. They cannot just tell them verbally. They will give them a paperwork. Okay? Paperwork stating coroner checked, 0. Fixed. Vital signs, blood pressure 0, heart rate 0, pulse rate 0. This one checked 0, that one checked 0. Patients unresponsive, brought in dead. Family advised, go deposit patient in the morgue. They must give them paperwork. Call it whatever name you want to call it. But they must have, because family can say they didn't tell us. And they work with license. They will lose their license if they don't give them paperwork. I call it paperwork, call it discharge paper, brought in dead. They must, even if it is a car accident patient they bring in dead, they must say blood broken, this broken, patient's check, unresponsive.
Thank you.
They must. I refuse to say, despite the fact that yes, we all know that Nigeria is a developing country, it's a third world country, but they must. Because they still work with licenses, and it is the board of medical directors. They will suspend the hospital if they do not. They cannot just say they must give them a paperwork. I am not talking about death certificate. We need to speak fact. You know, the errors was made, but we still have to. Okay, there are some things that it's a given.
I hope you know that now that you're talking, we are well muted our mic. So when we start, I said now that you're talking, we've all muted our mic. So when we start talking, please do not interrupt us. So please go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Can I correct one statement that Abefe actually made earlier?
Please go ahead. I'm going to mute.
Abefe, you actually stated earlier that, it was you all that said that the inconclusive. It was you all that said because he was buried, that was why the result was actually inconclusive. Abefe, it was actually Wumi that released a press statement that my father-in-law actually buried Mohbad quickly, the next day or the same day, whatever she said. It was actually Wumi that made the statement. It was not Mr. Loba or anyone from Mr. Loba. It was Wumi that released a press statement that it was because it was buried earlier. So I want you to correct that, and please don't repeat that again, that any of us from this side or Mr. Loba said made such statement. It was Wumi that said it was buried, the autopsy was inconclusive because Mr. Loba buried Mohbad quickly the next day or whatever day she said, whatever it was.
What point are you getting at? I don't get it.
You said earlier, you lot said that it was buried the next day. That was why it was buried quickly. That was why the autopsy was inconclusive. So why are you doing another autopsy?
So
that was what you said. And that was the statement was not made by Mr. Loba. The statement was made.
You're always like this.
I don't understand.
Listen. I heard what I heard, and I'm putting this. Wumi made that statement. She actually had a press release.
Why would you even have your
She had a press release.
You have your own opinion. Abefe has her own opinion. So who are you to even be saying that, oh, don't ever make this statement and then take it back? What do you mean? Everybody is having an opinion. You don't even have a factual.
I can't comprehend exactly what she said.
You are just mumbling everything together.
Of your words. But I don't get you. So what's your point exactly? I don't know. I can't, I want to really understand what you're driving at by saying that Wumi said, Abefe said. So can you please say it again and let's hear what you have to say, please. Moro,
you can go ahead. Abefe, can I ask you a question, please?
Susie, please hold on. I want Moro to actually ask that question because I can't honestly comprehend what she was saying. She mumbled a few things up and I'm not quite sure what exactly this she was saying. So Moro, in case you don't know, you're already muted. Can you please unmute your mic so we can hear you?
Okay. You said, you lot already said.
What you lot? I said, Abefe said, please.
You said, you lot already said that the autopsy was inconclusive because he was buried.
Yes.
Right? Earlier than it should be. So why are you doing another autopsy and toxicology again? And I am correcting that fact that it's not you lot. It was actually Wumi that made that statement that the autopsy was inconclusive because Baba buried Mohbad earlier than expected. So it's not your law. It was actually Wumi's statement. And even a lawyer said the same thing. So for you to say Baba is doing another autopsy and toxicology, even though he said it was buried earlier, that statement was from Wumi, not from Mr. Loba or any representative of Mr. Loba.
Nobody has said, Monroe, I don't get it. So hold on. Nobody has said the statement was from Baba Loba in any shape or form.
Okay, then why did you make the statement that why are you doing it again when you already said that it was inconclusive because it was quickly buried?
Okay, so you got the conversation from the middle. So let me explain.
No, it was not from the middle. I heard you clearly.
Can you just listen? Let me explain it to you. You're just literally just here to scream. You want to get it? Then listen. So what we said was, Supreme made a statement and said, the doctors have given you a medical advice. They are medical professionals, and they've said to you, go and deposit this body in the morgue. And she then said, these are medical professionals. These are people who know this. These are people who are who are skilled in this field. When they give you a professional advice, you need to go with it. You have to accept it. You have to take it. Okay. Now I then came back and I said to Supreme, I said, well, it's not easy for you to say, oh, because it's a medical advice, then they should take it and go deposit the body in the morgue. I said, because we'll have a bigger issue by now. I said, however, let us now take it that, okay, we want to take every medical advice seriously. We want to take every medical report seriously. How come you lot, in your word, now let me use your same words at you. How come you lot refused the reports from medical professionals regarding the autopsy and the toxicology? I said, how come you lot refused that result? If we're going by, because a medical professional has said it, we have to go with it. Why did you all refuse the toxicology and the autopsy? Why do you not feel the need to do it a second time? So it was a relative statement, and I was relating
That's exactly my point, Abefe. That's exactly my point.
I was relating that to my point.
Me actually released that press statement. It was not anything that has to do with Mr. Loba. That's the point I want to
and nobody said it had anything to do with Aloba. That's the thing. Are you listening? Nobody has said it was Aloba who made that statement. No one has said that. And no one as well has said, Mommy, I am saying this as Abefe. I am saying that I feel that taking the professionals' assessment and reports and going to deposit the body in a morgue would have been a bigger issue, just like the toxicology and the autopsy. Even though it's been written by professionals, we still do not agree with it, and that's why you guys are doing a second one. So I refuse that because a medical professional have said take the body to the morgue, then they should have gone to deposit. I thought it was not a bad thing that the body was taken home for the family to sit down and decide what are we doing from here. Now, if you then decide that, we've accepted, we've gotten the closure, like what do we do? What? And everybody in that panic state then says, you know what? This body has to be taken to the morgue. Okay, let's go to the police station. Where is the nearest police station? Go to the police station, have a chat. This is what the hospital have said. Report that at the hospital. Okay, we need a report before we can do anything. You go to the hospital. The body that was brought here, sir. You assessed him. Can you give? There are steps that. All of this, we will not be here having this conversation.
The fact still remains that Wumi has the duty of care to Mohbad, and she was supposed to wait for his parents to come to the hospital before taking Mohbad home. The body was not meant to be taken back. The body was not meant to be taken back home. The body was not meant to be taken back home, and we need to accept that fact that you said they were younger chaps, like younger kids, that they don't have any knowledge of that. Why didn't they wait for his parents? That's the question. Why did they take him home?
Okay, so when the hospital said take the body and go and deposit in the morgue, they should have said to the body, to the hospital, actually please give us like an hour, we're waiting for the father to come before we remove the body. Is that what you're saying?
Why you said they were young chaps, they have no idea of how things work. So they are kids at home. If they were kids, as you said, why didn't they wait for his parents? Why did they take his body home? And why didn't they take him to the morgue as advised?
Okay, can I answer your question? You are saying that now, when they ask them, this person is BID, number one, is not our client, number two, he didn't die here, we have assessed the body and we can tell you that this person has passed away. Please go and deposit the body in the morgue. They then say to them, actually, please, can we leave the body here for another hour or two? Because the father is coming, we want the father to come and see him in the hospital. Have you forgotten that they took him to a second hospital to get a second opinion? What are you talking about? He was taken to 2 hospitals to get second opinion. The first one is Kuramed, the second one is Perez Hospital. So I don't get it. What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, irrespective of the hospital they took Mohbad to, they should have waited for his parents, and they should have
waited for his parents.
Yes, yes, because why would you take his body home in the first place when he was supposed to be deposited in the morgue?
Hold on. So now you are contradicting yourself. They should have let his parents see the body before taking him away from the hospital, right? Okay, now they then took the body.
The body should have been deposited in the morgue, not in the house.
So that's my point. The body in the morgue without proper documentation.
Well, you said they should have waited for the father to come before removing the body.
No, because you said they were young chaps, they were young kids, young lads, and all of that. They had no idea how this works. When they got arrived at the hospital, she said that earlier. When they arrived at the hospital, they had no idea what was going on, and they should have.
You said I said that at the end of the day, they are young chaps. They were confused in that moment because none of them expected that. Number one, he did not have any underlying ailment. He was not sick. Everything that happened within an hour or hours or minutes or seconds or whatever it is. So yes, they were in a state of.
So why didn't they wait for an adult or the parents of the child in question? That's my point.
You're talking as though they were minors here. These are adults.
What are you on about?
These are adults and not
children. That was what she said. That was what she said.
Young adults. You are the one confusing yourself.
No. She said they were young chaps. They had no idea of how things work. When she was
I did not say that. That's a body line.
She just repeated the same thing. Listen, you can't intimidate me and talk at the same time. You can talk one after the other. Talk one after the other. Don't intimidate me. Talk one after the other, please.
Are they minors? That's the question.
Talk one after the other. I can't hear you two both at the same time. I can't hear you two at the same time.
So you're contradicting yourself.
Then one person should speak first, please.
Then go ahead.
You mute your mic.
Yeah, then one person
allow us speak.
Like, come on. So now you're repeating that you said they are young children. You said they are young children. I said that Mohbad being who he is and passing away, there was nobody within that circle that was matured or old enough. A member of the family that was old enough to make the decision to say, you know what, let's go deposit this body in the morgue. None of them could have done that. Not even his wife. If his wife had made the decision to say, oh yes, two hospitals have confirmed him there. They were okay, we've accepted. Take the body to the morgue. The story will be completely different to what it is right now. So I reiterate, there was no adult, no family member who is an adult that was present there at the time that could have given the consent to say, you know what, let us take this body to the morgue. It's okay. We'll go home and we'll have it.
So you agree with what they did in taking the body to the Mohbad's house, back to the house as opposed to the morgue? Is that what you're trying to say?
You have a problem with letting people finish with their statements. Okay? I am not going to listen to you. Everything you just said, I didn't hear you because you have to let me finish what I'm saying. So stop interrupting me. So I repeat, there was no matured adults in the house or with them at the time, from the first hospital to the second hospital, who could have made a decision on behalf of the family to say, take the body and go and deposit in the morgue. No adults nobody could have done that. And now if Darosha had assumed the position of, okay, I'm Mohbad's brother and I'm, older than this other young chap, I'm like a few years older than them, they're like younger than me and all of that, let's take the body to the mortuary, we'll be dealing with the same problem because you rightly just said, Moro just said, that yes, they should have waited for the father to come before taking the body anywhere. They couldn't have left the body in the hospital because both hospitals he was taken to, they confirmed that he was brought in dead. So no hospital would have kept the body on the bed to say, oh yes, let's leave the body there in an hour's time, the father will be here. No hospital would have done that. So they had one choice and one choice. They had one choice or two options only. And the first choice is go with the medical advice, go and deposit the body in the morgue. The second advice would have been, take the body to the house, the father is on his way, let's decide what we're going to do. So no, I do not agree that they did anything wrong by taking the body back home. They did absolutely nothing wrong.
You think it's right for them to tell him that it's okay, he's feeling well, he can go back, but they decide to take the body home. Make it make sense.
Say that, or are you still going? Now, I think that after our social media, we all act as if we don't have, we don't understand our Yoruba culture. I don't know, for those of us who are Yoruba, we all know. Now, Nile Yoruba, Nile Eyomo Karo Ojiri, you know for a fact. Tí òkú ọ̀fọ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ilé àti ìyá àti bàbá ọmọ yẹn wọ́n kọ́kọ́ tàn wọ́n lọ́nà.
I don't know. Are we still on the same topic? I just came back. Are we still on the same
Yoruba
topic?
culture, we know that tí òkú ọ̀fọ̀ tí ọmọ kékeré bá kú, bóyá ó kú nínú ilé o, bóyá ó kú ní títì o, wherever tó bá kú o, kò sí àgbàlagbà kan náà, kò sí anybody tó máa pe àgbàlagbà náà pé ẹ má bọ òkú ọmọ yín wà nílẹ̀ wá gbé o.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Come on now. In our Yoruba culture, you will tell the father, everything is okay, I'm not worried.
You are contradicting your initial submission.
And she was able to say, does it make sense? Does it really make sense?
Monroe, let's move on from that because Abefe, with this your last statement, you actually contradicted yourself.
No, I haven't.
Wait, let me finish. I've muted for a while. And I will tell you where I think you contradicted yourself is. Where I think you contradicted yourself is, number one, we started from the fact that Baba Mohbad was the one that told them to take the body home. Hold on, Susan. This was where I joined was we were trying to establish the statement that Baba Mohbad was the one that told them to take the body home.
That's not right. Supreme, okay. That's very wrong.
Now, but my question to you is, why and what prompted a lawyer in this situation?
I can tell you.
Please do.
The same way a call was placed to Baba Mohbad, that same way the call was placed to every other person who is a close affiliate of Mohbad. Now, bear in mind, like I said before, he did not have an underlying ailment or anything. So as soon as they heard that, they said Mohbad is dead, one in question Mohbad, it is only normal for everybody to make their way to the house. It doesn't necessarily mean it was Omoumi, and there's no statement anywhere from nobody that said that Omoumi was the one who called the lawyer.
I'm not talking about Omoumi. No, I'm not fixated.
If the lawyer has a personal relationship with Mohbad, and he has heard that something bad happened to him, he has one duty and one duty alone to make his way to the house. That's how it's only logical.
I don't see the logic in it.
I see
if there is any intent. There is any intent, why would there be? Because I think they made us understand that this guy is a private person who does not like social media, who does not like Aero, who does not like anything. So why they, like you have rightfully said, if I have to go with the narratives, the immediate family should have been the first people they will call. And I'm going to bring the name of Wumi up. Wumi stating that my husband doesn't like social media, my husband doesn't, she doesn't like to post me. I don't think someone that just, if Mohbad just passed away 2 hours, 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, I don't believe, you know my position. I believe Mohbad died on Monday, and I'm holding on to that. But if I'm going to go with your narrative, someone that just died, and they told them to go home, or they told them to go to the morgue, and they defiled that professional. If the law works for even defiling that professional advice, it's a citation. Okay, now they did that within that time frame, 4 p.m. the time they gave us to that time, to have called a lawyer and 100 people on someone that you yourself told us is not a public person, does not like publicity. I'm not talking about Wumi. Why do you always think when I make a statement it's Wumi? But one thing I'm going to say for a fact is Wumi is the wife. She is legally married to the great guy. So Wumi should actually be the one to control traffic. Hello. Please. Give us some space. Give us some space. We saw Wumi now. Wumi is not a timid child. Wumi is not a timid man. Wumi is supposed to be responsible.
Listen, don't say that.
I have to, and it's my own opinion. Let me say something. Let me say something. I have to. Wumi was not, listen, how do you define a good wife? Let me define a good wife. How do we define a good wife? Wumi was not there when he was having a fight. Wumi did not cook the food. Wumi
is convenient for you. She's a good wife.
But I told you now that Wumi as a wife should inherit the property. I told you Wumi as a wife should inherit the property.
Not a wife.
No, I'm not telling you that. I told you Wumi as a wife should inherit the property. I told you that. I'm never going to be biased. I will call it what it is. Wumi did not see the fight at Ikorodu. She was not there. Wumi, the wife, did not cook for him. I agree Wumi is illegally married. I've called her a wife long time ago. I did. I don't know about other people. Because customary marriage is a marriage. So Wumi did not see the fight. Wumi did not make the cook. Wumi did not see when the nurse came. Wumi was not with the nurse. Wumi was not the one that was giving the statement of discharge. Wumi was not the one this. Wumi did not know they were going to bury the husband. She saw it online. Wumi did not see this. How do we then define Wumi? Where was the wife? Where was the wife in all of this?
Supreme, why are you fixated